New York Yankees baseball is a production of Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM WFAN in conjunction with the New York Yankees. Studio operation. Gave up, did Oakland, a terrific young player in Josh Donaldson, which no one can understand, but that's if Grayson becomes a big pitcher. The pitch to Headley is cut on a miss, struck him out swinging. Now there's the cutter down and in, or slider, basically the same pitch, and they're a two-way, and that will bring up Alex Rodriguez.
No, Reddy, he looks a lot more confident. The A's were saying that when he first came up, the bright lights really got to him, so they sent him down, got his confidence back. He pitched a great game against Tampa Bay last time out.
A-Rod is at 276, 11 homers, 26 RBIs. Had the big hit yesterday, a 3-run home run. 3 infielders on the left side, and Gravesman deals. There's a strike on the outside corner. A-Rod, and we'll kind of have a countdown on this, is 19 hits away from 3,000. And the pitch to Alex is a slider outside on the count 1-1.
So far you can see his sinker is his best pitch. That was that 4-seamer outside a bit.
There's the 1-1. And the pitch low. There's the sinker in. Now, to the right-hander, the sinker goes into him. But that's a sinker-slider combination. One goes in, one goes away. And the pitch to Alex is cut on a miss. I cannot find the balls and strikes. I'm looking and I'm looking. I know it's somewhere. They have 2 big new scoreboards on either side of the field. Well, the count 2-2. The right-hander deals. It's low. And the count 3-2.
94-mile-an-hour fastball.
It's dots. They don't put numbers up. It's dots. Yeah. Here's the payoff. That strike 3 call, fastball outside corner, caught him looking. 2 strikeouts, 3 up and 3 down at the end of a half. The Yankees nothing. Oakland coming to bat on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Barnes reminds you that this copyrighted broadcast presented by authority of the New York Yankees and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the New York Yankees. Salino and Barnes is one of our nation's largest personal injury firms. Don't wait. Call 1-800-888-8888. Offices in Manhattan and Long Island.
And Sabathia's first pitch, a strike to Billy Burns. Little leadoff man hitting a .293, a homer and 2 RBIs.
Burns came over from the Nationals for Jerry Blevins, good defensive center fielder. He's playing because Coco Crisp is on the DL.
And hits a ground ball to third. Headley stabs it high, throws to first, 1 away. This is a very big start for CC. Oh, I don't mean to keep his place in the rotation. He's there. But this is the first game of a road trip. The Yankees are winging thanks to the 3 straight over the Royals. They have a 1.5 lead in first place. Tampa's not playing tonight. 2 on the loss side. So it could be 2 overall. But CC, after a couple of good starts, got murdered last time out against Texas. Well, he has to turn it around. It's very big for the Yankees to get off on the right foot on the 7-game trip. Now here's the shortstop, right-handed Marcus Semien. And he swings, hits a ground ball to deep short. Backhanded by Didi. Sets the long throw low. Scooped up by Teixeira. What a play. So a very bad throw by Didi and a great scoop by Teixeira. And quickly 2 away.
Well, he bounced it. Teixeira with that gold glove over at first base. Handled it beautifully. Now, Mark, he made out so fast I couldn't even say that. Marcus Semien got his first hit of his major league career last year off of CC Sabathia.
Semien was a .286, 6 homers, 15 RBIs. Oh, pretty good bat. Here is Ben Zobrist, who is 15 for 58, a homer and 8 RBIs. Switch hitter batting right. And Sabathia deals, breaking ball strike. Zobrist has been up to bat against Sabathia. Listen to this. 76 times. That's like a career. The pitch to Ben is a change outside, and the count 1-1.
Zobrist has been hurt. He just came back from being on the DL a few games ago.
Oakland has crowded 7 righty hitters in against Sabathia, and the pitch is outside, and the count 2-1. This is a very good park for Sabathia. He throws strikes, that we know. And he deals 2-1 to Zobrist. A ground ball to first. Teixeira will take it to the bag in time. It's a big ballpark, and it plays bigger in the evening. It's cold. And so this could be a very good start for Sabathia. He gets 3 ground balls, 3 up, 3 down at the end of 1 inning of play, no score. On the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
FM, New York.
Now to the top of the second, here's Mark Teixeira to lead off. Mark at 243, 14 homers, 35 RBIs. 3 infielders on the right side, of course, and the pitch is grounded foul at home plate. Gravesman's first pitch tonight was 92 miles an hour. Choosing the pitcher is important. Your choices matter too. Please drive responsibly. A reminder from the New York City Department of Transportation and the Vision Zero initiative. There's a hot shot to the second baseman in right field, and Zobrist throws out Teixeira. And there's one away.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Mercedes-Benz Tri-State. Dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. They played a doubleheader in Baltimore. They split the 2 games. White Sox beat Baltimore 3-2 in the first game. Chris Davis had his 11th homer for Baltimore. And in the second game, Baltimore beat the White Sox 6-3. Chris Sale goes to 4-2 in the first game. Mike Wright for Baltimore is 2-0.
The pitch is low to McCann. Bryan at 239, 6 homers, 29 RBIs. The same 3 fielders stay on the right side, and the pitch outside, and the count 2-0.
Boston leading Texas 4-0. They're in the top of the 8th in Texas. Hanley Ramirez had his 11th homer. It's first in the month of May, by the way. Eduardo Rodriguez is pitching for Boston. Nick Martinez pitched 7 innings for Texas.
McCann fouls at third base side out of play.
No score, bottom of the first in Anaheim, Detroit, and the Angels. Buck Farmer brought up, that's their big-time prospect, brought him up. He is pitching against C.J. Wilson. And in the top of the first, Cleveland and Seattle, no score.
McCann swings and lines one to deep right down the line. Does it have enough? It does. Brian McCann just ripped one right inside the foul pole down the right field line over the leap of Josh Ruddick. Oh, McCann can. Yes, McCann can. He homers for the second straight day, and the Yankees take a 1-0 lead.
Well, when you look at Graveman, Joe Girardi had said you try and make him get the pitches up. He's got a really good sinker, and if he makes a mistake and it's up, you better pounce on it, and that's what McCann did.
So the Yankees take a 1-0 lead. McCann's 7th homer, his 30th RBI. 3 infielders remain on the right side for Beltran, but the 3 infielders don't help you if you hit the ball over the fence. It's 330 down the right field line, and that ball got over a few feet away from the right field fence. So here's Beltran, and it's a chopper check swing to third. Laurie throws to first, and there is the second out. Beltran at 245 has a 15-game hit streak, 3 homers, 18 RBIs, and that brings up Stephen Drew. Drew at 167, 5 homers, 15 RBIs.
And only 2 games in the National League, both of them out here on the coast. Pittsburgh at San Diego and Atlanta at San Francisco.
By the way, the home run by McCann was the Ballantine blast of the game. Of course, the game has just started. Brought to you by Ballantine IPA, America's original IPA. Taste a piece of craft beer history. Drew takes a breaking ball strike from Graveman. Three infielders on the right side for Drew. Pitch is a slider inside, and the count 1-1. 1-0 Yanks on the McCann home run. Always good to have the lead. We'll see how CC pitches with that little lead. And their right-hander deals low inside. Graveman 2-2 and an ERA of 6. So let's not make too much of him yet. And he deals, swung on and grounded weakly foul outside of first. His numbers, they're okay. 5 games and starts, 22 innings, 27 hits, 11 walks, 13 Ks. That's not a good combination. 11 walks and 13 strikeouts. And that's the 4th home run he's given up. That'll be a 2-2 to Drew. And the pitch is swung on, a high pop in shallow right. Zobrist out, backpedaling, makes the catch to end the inning. However, the Yankees take the lead on the McCann home run. 1 run, 1 hit, no one left. And now at the end of an inning and a half, 1-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, we go to the bottom of the second, 1-0 Yanks on the McCann home run. Here's Billy Butler, the former DH of Kansas City, relocated in Oakland, a right-hand hitter, and the pitch is strike. Butler not having a big year. He's at 263. That's okay, but only 4 home runs, 23 RBIs. He is when right, he is a really good right-hand hitter. Samathia's 0-1. And there's a breaking ball low, and the count 1-1.
Samsung Yankees trivia brought to you by the Samsung Curve SUHD TV. Available at Adorama and Adorama.com.
Here's the 1-1. Butler swings and misses, and the count 1-2.
A's manager Bob Melvin played briefly for the Yankees in 1994. Name the 3 other former Yankees who managed the A's. I'll give you the answer next inning. Butler, when they traded away Josh Donaldson and just brought back Butler, there was an uproar here because Butler doesn't hit home runs. He can be a high average hitter, but he is not a home run threat.
Pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Didi fields, takes a step, and throws in time. One away. You're absolutely right about Butler. He's more a line drive gap hitter than a home run hitter. He will drive in a lot of runs. I mean, he hits with power, but he doesn't elevate the ball and hit a lot of home runs.
Big hand for Stephen Vogt. He's very popular here. I guess you would when you lead the team in home runs. Nobody else hitting home runs, and he's got 10.
Samathia deals. There's a breaking ball strike. Vogt, a left-hand hitter, hitting at .319, 10 homers and 33 RBIs. 3 infielders on the right side. For Vogt, who spells his name V-O-G-T, and Samathia deals, breaking ball outside. You know, we all want to discover people, etc., etc., etc. Now, I saw Vogt play for Tampa in spring training against the Yankees some years ago, and he kept on getting hits, and I thought, this guy really looks like a good hitter. Well, he's a catcher, first baseman, and now he's proving it with the A's. The pitch is low outside, and the count 2-1 on Vogt.
And he got a chance to play every day because Ike Davis, who they brought over to play first base, has been injured, and I don't even know when he's coming back.
Here's the 2-1. Breaking ball strike on the outside corner. Pretty breaking ball. And then the count 2-2.
Vogt is a catcher by trade.
And the pitch is cut on, and another ground ball in the infield. Didi plays and flips it underhand to first. You know, you see that so much. A weak ground ball with the 3 infielders on the right side. The shortstop makes the play. So it is 6-3, and even though it was 6-3, when Didi fielded the ball, he was about 5 feet from first base. He underhanded it. Well, 2 away, and that brings up the third baseman Brett Laurie, who came over in that Donaldson trade. Laurie at 266, 2 homers and 16 RBIs. Yankees with a 1-0 lead as we play here in the bottom of the second. 2 outs, no one on. And the pitch high. Geico, saving people money on car insurance for over 75 years. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit them at geico.com. Sabathia deals, and the pitch is low. And the count 2-0 on Laurie.
Laurie, if you remember, from Toronto, a very energetic player. And
there's the 2-0. And that pitch low, and the count 3-0. So let's see, Laurie could be swinging. He can hit it out. The left-hand hitter is on deck, Josh Reddick. Now Sabathia behind 3-0 to the right-hand hitter. And the pitch is taken for a strike, 3-1. Let's take 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
The Giants met with free agent tackle Jake Long today. The Jets released Matt Sims. Listen to Mark Malusis after the game on WFAN and WFAN-FM New York.
The pitch, 3-1, is swung on and drilled to right. Back a step or two is Beltran to make the catch. So Sabathia has had 2 1-2-3 innings. 3 up, 3 down. At the end of 2, 1-0 Yanks. On the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
At Jeep. Bull on the Fan.
Well, here we go to the third. 1-0 Yanks on a homer by McCann. It'll be 8-9-1. Chris Young. Now, Heathcott was in the lineup, but he has a tender quad or something. So Young is his replacement. He's a right-hand hitter and has been in a devastating slump. The pitch from Graveman is a strike. Young, who was over 300, is down to 236. 6 homers, 13 RBIs. Young, Didi, and then the top of the order. Here's the 0-1. And the pitch low. I'll tell you one thing I like about Graveman. He doesn't waste any time on the mound. He is ready to go. He has a foot on the rubber. He never leaves. The pitch to Chris is grounded foul outside of third. And the count 1-2.
And here's the answer to today's trivia question, brought to you by the Samsung Curve SUHD TV, available at Autorama. The 3 ex-Yankees who managed the A's were, of course, Hank Bauer, Billy Martin, and Bob Geren.
Which leads me to a story. I was going to tell it before to Jack and Susan. It's chilly here. Obviously, the weather doesn't change. The years change. The weather doesn't change. Now, here's the 1-2. Caught on a miss. Struck him out swinging on a pitch in. That's the third strikeout for Graveman. I got to know Hank Bauer very well in Baltimore. I was on the air. He was on my show. He managed the Birds. And he wound up later managing Oakland. Now, Hank Bauer was about as tough an ex-Marine as you ever met in your life. And so he came back to Baltimore, and, we met. And I said, well, tell me, what's it like? He said, I have to wear long johns every night. It's so cold.
It really is. And my leather jacket's back.
Didi hits a fly ball to left. Cutting toward the line is Canna, and he makes the catch, and very quickly, and they're a 2-way. Your local Tri-State Audi dealers invite you to experience the uncompromised performance of the Audi A3 today.
Now batting.
Or visit anytime at TriStateAudiDealers.com. Susan gave you the scores. The game is going so fast, it's tough to get anything else in, but I'll try. 2 things in that first Oriole game. Chris Sale was taken out because of pitch count in 7 2/3 innings. No, there was 1 out to go in the 8th. And he gave up no runs, 4 hits, 12 strikeouts, no walks. Fairly good game. The pitch high, but they all get worried, understandably so. And in that game, Manny Machado's had a lot of problems with umpires. Pitch is a strike, and is a terrific player. They just can't afford to lose him. Well, he was called out on strikes. He took his bat and he smashed it against the ground. He got thrown out of the game, which happens to him a lot, actually. I'm sure they talked to him about it. And here is the 1-1 to Gardner. And the change low outside, 2-1.
All the time they talk to him about it. But you know who's missing this year that can't talk to him about it? That kept him in line last year, evidently? Nelson Cruz.
Right. I can understand. The 2-1 is fouled third base side. It's not that he did anything terrible, but he's got to learn to control his emotions a little bit. He can become a tremendous player. Gardner grounded to short his first time. That'll be a 2-2 from Graveman. Yanks with a 1-0 lead top of the third. And the pitch is hit on the ground toward the middle and through a base hit. So Gardner is on with 2 outs. And let's manage from the booth, shall we? 2 outs, a runner at first, and Gardner ought to go. That right-hander's on the mound. He ought to go. If he gets thrown out, so what? Then Headley leads off the next inning.
You know, I'm thinking as I'm watching that ball go by Zobrist, even if Zobrist gets it, I think Gardner gets on anyway.
Absolutely. You know, once he makes the fielder move 2 or 3 steps either way, he's got a chance. And Zobrist would have fielded that up the middle, so I agree. Here's Headley. Let's see if Gardner runs. Pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. He won't have the chance. Semien touches up at second to end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left at the end of 2.5. It's 1-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network driven by Jeep.
We are coming to you live from the Sunoco broadcast booth. Sunoco, save 5 cents on every gallon instantly with your Sunoco Rewards credit card.
You know, the A's have a terrible record this year against lefties as Sabathia deals to Josh Reddick. There's strike, and tonight they only have 2 lefties in the lineup. They're their 2 best hitters. Vogt and Reddick having a big year. He's hitting at .308, 7 homers and 30 RBIs. Lefty hitter with power. 3 infielders on the right side. And the 0-1 lined hard to right, but right at Beltran, who makes the catch. Beltran watched the ball, and then he suddenly realized he better break in, so he broke in toward the line and made the catch about knee high.
You know what, John? I'm looking at this lineup. Josh Reddick's the only one left from last year's team. There's no one in this lineup that was here last year.
Well, would I like to find out why? But
well, this is what I was told, that they finished with a team they thought was good, 10 games behind the Angels. And a lot of guys were getting close to free agency, and Billy said, I'm just going to blow it up.
He's lucky, boy. He's got the power. He couldn't do that with another organization. Here is the catcher. Josh Fegley takes a breaking ball for a strike. Fegley used to play for the White Sox. Backup catcher, right-hand hitter. And the pitch is cut on, missed on the change. Great change. Fegley, 11 for 48, a homer and 4 RBI. Susan and I were talking between innings. And this is a big inning for CeCe. Why, John? Because the last time out, he pitched 2 scoreless innings and then got bombed in the third. Remember when the Yankees gave up 10 to Texas in the third? The pitch swung on and looped over the head of Drew to right center field for a base hit as Young fires back in.
Score was 5-0 when CeCe got taken out. He gave up 6 runs that day. When the A's started spring training, they had an infield of Ike Davis, Ben Zobrist, Marcus Semien, and Brett Lawrie instead of Brandon Moss, Eric Sogard, Jed Lowry, and Josh Donaldson.
Now, Sogard is on the bench. Not much of a hitter, left-hand hitter, so wouldn't play tonight. Moss is in Cleveland. Obviously, Donaldson's in Toronto. Here is a rookie, Mark Canha. Very interesting as he takes a pitch low. Canha's a power hitter. He hit .300 with 20 homers in AAA last year. This year, he's got power, .232, 6 homers and 20 RBIs. But here's the catch. You play Canha, a right-hand hitter, against lefties. So far, he hasn't hit lefties. The pitch is low. I could look it up. I think I looked it up before, and he was under 100 against lefties. You figure that's where he should play. So it'll be a 2-0 to Canha with Fegley at first base. 1 on, 1 out here in the bottom of the third. 1-0 Yanks. As Sabathia deals. There's a strike.
Canha's a 25-year-old Rule 5 pick from the Marlins. power hitting first baseman, left fielder, that kind of guy, as John said. He's from San Jose, so when he was picked in the Rule 5 to come to Oakland, he was beside himself with glee. Now, they have to keep him on the roster, although Billy Beane doesn't play by those rules, he won't care, or he has to be offered back to the Marlins.
Pitch is hit in the hole. It's a base hit to left field. Begley stops at second. So consecutive singles put men on first and second, and now I'm going to look it up just for my own interest.
Now batting center fielder, number 1, Billy Burns.
Against lefties, before that base hit, Canna was hitting .098. He was 4 for 41 against lefties. So he's done all of his damage against righties. But here's a right-hand hitter, Billy Burns, the center fielder, with 2 on and 1 out. Went Headley into a force play to end the top of the third. That was the 15th out of the game, brought to you by Geico. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on your car insurance. Call Geico at 1-800-947-AUTO or visit them at geico.com. And Burns fouls it first base side out of play. Tying run at second and lead run at first.
Burns made this roster out of spring training. Had 31 hits in spring, so he made the team.
Pitch, breaking ball, backdoor breaking ball, missed, and the count 1-1.
Billy Beane acquired Cody Ross, and Burns didn't play the first 2 games and then was sent up. Ross was DFA'd earlier this month, and they recalled Billy Burns.
Runners lead first and second, 1 out. And the 1-1, up high fastball, 2-1. Cody Ross didn't hit.
No. I mean, it wasn't that long ago that he was just great. I think he's out of, I don't know where he is. I think he might be out of baseball. I know he's DFA'd in the beginning of this month.
It doesn't last long in organized sports. It really doesn't.
Yeah.
Sabathia will deal 2-1 to Burns. Swung on, a fly ball to right toward the line. Beltran on the run. Has to play it on a hop. And the bases are loaded. It's a soft fly ball down the right field line. So bases loaded and 1 out on 3 straight hits. Obviously, Fegley had to hold up. He didn't know if Beltran going to catch it or not. So the A's have a big chance. Bases loaded, 1 out. Here's Marcus Semien.
Well, Beltran not exactly quick to that ball. It looked like something that could be caught.
Semien, a right-hand hitter. He has trouble with the glove, but he's really a pretty good hitter. He looked that way with the White Sox, too, when he came up a couple of times. He grounded to short his first time. And the pitch is grounded foul at home plate. 0-1. CC 2-6 and an ERA of 5.47. 9 games and starts, 54 innings, 66 hits. So he's given up a lot of hits. His control's great. He's walked 11. That's about 2 per 9. He struck out 47, a 4-to-1 ratio. And deals, and Semien hits a ground ball foul outside of third. And the count 0-2. You know, they always tell you that the runner at third takes his lead in foul territory, so if he gets hit, it's just a foul ball. And boy, that ball just missed Fegley.
Semien 0 for 23 with runners in scoring position.
Yankees have the infield back, of course, looking for 2. And Sabathia will deal 0-2. Struck him out swinging. High fastball, probably out of the zone. So Sabathia needed that strikeout and got it to freeze the runner at third. And that was CC's first strikeout of the game. Winthrop University Hospital reminds you they strike out cancer with their CyberKnife technology. Winthrop University Hospital, your health means everything. Now here is a tough cookie, Ben Zobrist. I always thought in all the years the Yankees played Tampa and Zobrist playing second base of the outfield, Sabathia deals a breaking ball strike. I always thought Zobrist was a terrific clutch hitter. He seemed to get a lot of hits with men on base. He grounded out his first time. He got the bases loaded, 2 out. A switch hitter batting right. Begley at third, Canna at second, and Burns at first. Sabathia having trouble getting the sign from McCann, the reason for the delay. Now CC deals, and the pitch outside, try to backdoor it, the count 1-1.
Zobrist, when he was traded over here, and he's a free agent at the end of this year, when he was traded over here, he and his wife took out a full page in all the Tampa papers thanking all the fans for being so kind to him over the years. He was a big part of that team, big part of that community. It's weird to be there and have him not there.
The 1-1 caught on him, missed, and the count 1-2.
Isn't it strange when you associate people with a certain team and then all of a sudden they're gone? You just don't see them.
But that is sports, boy.
Sure is. Sure is.
Bases loaded, 2 men out. Sabathia one really good pitch away from getting out of the inning without damage. And the 1-2. Strike 3 is called. So Sabathia, remember what happened in the 3rd inning last time? Well, he pitched out of trouble. It was great pitching. No runs, 3 hits, 3 left, and at the end of 3 innings of play, 1-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Hi.
WFAN New York.
Well, to the 4th inning, Yanks have a 1-0 lead. A solo homer, well, obviously solo by Brian McCann. Here's A-Rod to lead it off, with 3 infielders on the left side. Middle of the order, Alex Teixeira McCann against the right-hander Kendall Graveman. And the pitch is fouled at home plate. A-Rod struck out his first time.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees since 2008. Amazing things are happening here. Doubleheader in Baltimore, which was split between the White Sox and the O's. Chicago winning the first 3-2. Baltimore winning the second game 6-3.
And here's the 0-1 to A-Rod. Fastball high, 1-1.
Boston leading Texas 5-0. Bottom of the 9th there in Arlington. Eduardo Rodriguez's first start for the Red Sox. 7 2/3 innings, no runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts.
Pitch. Hit hard. There's a base hit through the left side. And A-Rod is on. It's amazing. You know, they talk about you only can hit it, you can't guide it. He hit the ball between the shortstop and the second baseman, who both were on the left side, but he hit in a perfect spot. I mean, when you see that, that's amazing. If the ground ball goes at either one of them, it's an easy out.
And 18 to go for 3,000.
Yes, yeah.
Angels leading Detroit 3-0. Top of the 3rd. Albert Pujols' 9th homer. Matt Joyce is 3rd. Cleveland leading Seattle 1-0. The XA Brandon Moss is 8th homer.
The pitch to Teixeira is low outside, and the count 1-0.
Pittsburgh leading San Diego 4-0. They're in the bottom of the 2nd. A.J. Burnett against Ian Kennedy.
Teixeira swings and misses off-speed pitch, change in the count 1-1.
And top of the 4th in San Francisco, Atlanta and the Giants, no score.
You know, Susan, I had to look twice at the newspaper today about when I was reading the Giants. Pitch is low. And last week, the Mets and Yankees were home at the same time. And here, the Giants and A's are home at the same time.
Do you know I just looked at the scorecard thinking that it was wrong?
Right.
Because we're here. Why would the Giants be here?
I kept looking. That can't be right.
Strange schedule.
Teixeira takes a strike on the inside corner. So the count 2-2. A-Rod at first with his leadoff single. Yanks with a 1-0 lead top of the 4th. And the pitch is outside. This is a very, very ugly facility. It has been since they built it. But one thing I will say, because it's early in the year before the Raiders play some exhibition games, the field looks in great shape. When the Raiders play, they dig it up the field terribly. Right now, it looks very plush and green. That'll be a 3-2 to Teixeira. I doubt A-Rod is running. Not just that he doesn't run like he used to, but also because he has like a little tender hammy and they don't want him to run until he has to. Now here's the payoff to Teixeira, and the pitch is low. He walks. A-Rod was not going. Now the Yanks have 2 on and 0 out for McCann, Beltran, and Drew.
And Fegley out talking to Graveman.
Now batting, number 34.
Now, you really have to watch it if you're a pitcher and a catcher with Alex Rodriguez standing on second base. He is one of the things that he can do better than anybody else is steal signs.
Susan, do you know, I didn't tell Alex this. We talked on the plane and I forgot to tell him. Do you know that someone at ESPN, and I think I respect the guy, but I just can't clearly remember, he said Alex ought to be the next manager of the Marlins. How do you like that? Boy, that would be some comeback. He's from Miami,
Alex
and he is a very bright baseball guy.
He would make a great manager.
Here is McCann, and that pitch is low. Teixeira at first with the walk. That was the first walk of the game. Just walk into any of City MD's convenient locations and see a board-certified physician. You'll never need an appointment. City MD, feel better faster. McCann hits a ground ball up the middle. Base hit, center field. Rounding third is A-Rod. He's coming home. The throw is going to be... Well, no signal. He's out because he went past the plate. And they're going to ask for a review, I think. A-Rod slid around the tag by Fegley. And the question is, did he touch the plate? And I gather that the home plate umpire, Ed Hickok, said no.
Well, Beltran's not in the box yet, and they're looking. Rob Thompson was looking at the video guy, and I don't see Joe on the field, so maybe he didn't.
His hand did hit the plate, and he wasn't called out till the tag came way after. A-Rod was putting his hands down safe. Look at it, Susan. See if his hand hits the plate. It looked to me like it did.
Well, I can't see whether it actually touched it or whether it was just over it. They're looking again. Beltran is not in there. We certainly didn't tag him. So if the left hand, here comes Girardi. Oh, I think he did. And they're going to look at it. Yep.
If his hand hit the plate, he's safe because the umpire didn't call him out till after the play. So they are going to look at it. And you know what? What Susan said is true. You can see his hand over the plate.
No, you can see it touch the plate because it moved.
Well, if his hand touched the plate, he's safe.
This instant replay review is sponsored by Sands Casino, closer than you think. It depends on what angle. We've seen a couple of angles. I've got the A's view, the A's feed here. Now the home plate umpire is right on top of it. He doesn't think he touched it.
I don't know what the fans are getting so excited about. How can they see if his hand touched the plate? They're showing it. I've seen it 8 times now. I can't tell if the hand was down far enough to touch the plate. If it touched the plate, he's safe.
Well, the one that's showing on the board looks like his hand is on top of it and never touches it. If he dragged the fingers along, he got up and gave the safe sign. But, it's got to be conclusive. If they can't tell, the call will stand that's on the field.
The Yankees are challenging the ruling on the field. The runner is out of home.
This is a very different review because Fegley didn't tag him till he went past the plate, stood up, and as Susan said, gave the safe signal. And the question is, did his hand touch the plate?
We've seen it like 30 times now. I can't tell. Did he go past the plate and miss it, and then Fegley touched him? You know what? Alex must have thought that he touched it, or wouldn't he have gotten up and gone back if he thought he missed it?
I guess. He wasn't able to stop. If he could stop himself, he would have touched it. The drag missed him. So then he stood up, gave the safe sign. Fegley ran after him and tagged him. and he was called out. The home plate umpire, Ed Hickox, didn't call him out until Fegley ran after it to tag him. Now we'll find out. It's either 2-0 Yankees with first and third and no one out, or 1-0 Yankees with first and third and one out.
It's been taking a long time.
You know, I just looked at it again as close as I could get to the screen, and I still couldn't tell. Did his hand come down on the plate, or was it kind of over it?
He's safe. Wow. Now Alex taking high fives all around again for the second time.
So it's 2-0 Yanks. That is very anticlimactic. Teixeira stopped at second, by the way, so he's back at second base. So give McCann a ribby single. He's knocked in both runs. Yanks have a 2-0 lead, and they have first and second, and no one out. And you know what? As Susan said, we looked at it 30 times. I couldn't tell.
As we say here, I don't have a hologram.
Here is Beltran with 2 on and no one out. Carlos grounded at third his first time. And the pitch is grounded to first. Vogt takes the easy play at first. The runners move to second and third. So actually, that's a very good at bat. Teixeira at third, McCann at second, one out. And we pause 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees Radio Network.
Free agent tackle Jake Long met with the Giants today. The Jets released Matt Sims. The Bulls fire head coach Tom Thibodeau. More later on WFAN and WFAN FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at Oakland Coliseum. Yankees have a 2-0 lead and second and third. And the A's bring the infield up. Here's Stephen Drew. Now, you know that Drew is not hitting at all. I mean, he came into the game at 167. Well, one thing for Stephen, he has 5 homers and 15 RBIs. So here's a chance for a big hit. A hit probably means 2 runs. I mean, McCann is very slow, but now here is Drew, a left-hand hitter. The infield is up for a play at the plate. And the pitch is swung on, and a high pop-up. A run will not score in the infield. The shortstop, Semien, makes the catch right behind the mound, and they're 2 away.
Well, the one replay, John, that we saw, and they showed it on the Oakland monitor just once, that Alex actually, the fingers did touch the end of the plate, and how I could tell is that it moved. You could see that. And then they went back to the other angle, which looked like he didn't touch the plate. So I'm sure that's what they saw back in New York, the one where his fingers just touched the very end of the plate.
Well, that's a great break for the Yanks. With 2 here's Chris Young with second and third. Of course, the infield back to normal depth. And Graveman deals, and the sinker is inside. You know, I saw the Drew pop-up again replayed, and boy, did he get a great pitch to hit. I mean, he got a fastball right down the pipe, but popped it up. So second and third, 2 men out. And it'll be a 1-0 to Young. And the pitch is low, and the count 2-0. The top of the 4th inning brought to you by Domino's Pizza. The pizza with the best toppings. Domino's, the official pizza of the New York Yankees Radio Network. Infield, outfield, about straight away for Young. The second baseman Zobrist pulled over a little toward second, the way you would for most right-hand hitters. And the 2-0 grounded foul at home plate. Chris Young has really hit the skids. I once had a stat for it, but he's probably maybe 6 or 7 hits out of 40 at-bats or so. He was over 300 before the slide began. Teixeira off third, McCann off second with 2 out. Pitch low outside slider, and the count 3-1.
He had a terrible homestand, was 1 for 12. That's 083.
Well, he's ahead on the count 3-1. With Didi on deck, I wouldn't figure Graveman would throw too good a strike, I would guess. Now it'll be a 3-1 to Young. Runners lead, and the pitch is grounded foul at home plate, 3-2.
His timing way off, and I keep saying this because Mark Teixeira had the best line when you're in a slump. If you're looking for a fastball, it's a breaking pitch, and if you're looking for a breaking pitch, it's always a fastball. He's just off. And the other thing, John, about Young, he's not walking, which means he's not seeing the ball.
Well, here he's going to look at a 3-2 pitch. Runners lead. And the pitch lined hard foul. That was his pitch. Boy, he hit it hard and foul outside of third. So the count 3-2. Young got all of that. A little too quick.
Yep, 91-mile-an-hour fastball. He was right on it. Just too fast, as John said. You could see that it was slicing.
Now, once again, it'll be a 3-2. There's a big batter in the game. These are big batters when you have a chance to score a couple of runs. Young been out of the batter's box. Now he's back in. Teixeira, the runner at third. McCann, the runner at second. And here comes the payoff from Graveman. He struck him out swinging. For the Yankees, 1 run, 2 hits, 2 left. And now at the end of 3.5 innings of play, it's 2-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, we go to the bottom of the 4th inning. The 4th inning brought to you by Cars for Kids. That's Cars with a K. Yanks have a 2-0 lead. Sabathia deals to Billy Butler. And the breaking ball's in for a strike. Kind of a backdoor breaking ball by CeCe.
Recovery Room Health Update is sponsored by New York Presbyterian, the official hospital of the New York Yankees. Amazing things are happening here. And what's happening here is Masahiro Tanaka is in Oakland.
Pitch is low, the count 1-1.
And they're going to have a little session tomorrow, Larry Rothschild and Tanaka, and it looks like he's going to pitch either Tuesday or Wednesday in Seattle. And boy, that would be a shot in the arm, boy.
It would be a great shot in the arm if he's ready to go. The pitch to Butler, a high pop to shallow center. Coming in is Young. It's his ball. He makes the catch. And there's one away.
You know what's different about this team? And we haven't seen Oakland teams that have no power. Last year, they lost Cespedes, Donaldson, and Moss after last year. That's over 70 home runs, and it's been replaced by nothing.
Right, and that's a perfect middle three. And, in the infield, you had Moss at first and Donaldson at third. What power, and Cespedes in left. Very tough to replace that. Now here's Stephen Vogt. He's a left-hand hitter. 1 out, no one on. And the pitch low on the count 1-0.
Vogt has 10 home runs, but that's not the same thing. And all those, think of the great Oakland teams. Always had home run power.
The pitch is grounded foul off first. Now the count 1-1 on the left-hand hitting Vogt. Three infielders on the right side for Steven. And the pitch, a breaking ball strike. Beautiful breaking ball. That's about the stock and trade against lefties. That lefty slider actually looked more like a curveball, but that's what he does throw. And deals a little nubber toward third. Going to be a tough play. Headley bare hands fires. Got it. No, he's safe. Well, what a play by Headley. A little nubber. Headley was the only player on the left side, and he raced in barehanded, made a great throw, and Vogt just beat it out for a single.
Well, nothing you can do about that. That's as good a play as you can make. Picked it up barehanded and threw it. It was great. Great stretch by Teixeira. You forget how good Teixeira actually is. Think back to last year when he was not there. Good call at first base. He was just safe. Just think back, John, when they were trying everybody and his brother over at first base. What a difference.
Oh, it really is a difference. Now here's the right hand hitting Brett Laurie with 1 on and 1 out. The Vogt kind of check swing, and the pitch is low. It worked out, a little ground ball. They always say when you have a chance to get a hit, you run a little faster. So he just beat it. Laurie fly to right his first time. 21,775. There's Sabathia's pitch. And it's low on the count, 1-1. Yanks have a 2-0 lead. Both runs driven in by McCann with a home run and a single. And the 1-1 swung on a high fly to right. Beltran is underneath it, and Carlos makes the catch, and they're a 2-way.
I know it's probably not like this on the field. Doesn't that outfield look dark to you?
Susan, obviously I've been coming here 20.
Right fielder, 22, Josh Reddick.
27 years, and in the early years, it looks so dark to me. I asked Danny Tarnable once, "Is it that dark?" He said, "No."
Yeah.
So it's where I guess we're looking, but yes, it does.
In center field, particularly, when they used to not have Mount Davis out there when it was open and you could see the mountains, I never thought that.
Reddick hits a high pop behind the plate. McCann comes back and runs out of room. So the count 0-1 on Reddick. Stephen Vogt is the runner at first with 2 outs, bottom of the 4th. 2-0 Yanks, and Sabathia now is set to go. It'll be an 0-1, lefty to lefty, and the pitch, a breaking ball, striking the count 0-2. Sabathia looks in a very good rhythm tonight. He always has good control. He has not walked about it. He has struck out 2, but he struck out the 2 when he needed it, with the bases loaded. Now there's the pitch. Reddick takes strike 3. Fastball outside corner. Reddick did not like the call. I think that's safe to say. For the A's, no runs on a hit, and 1 left at the end of 4. It's 2-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
19 FM WFAN New York.
Well, we go to the top of the 5th inning. The Yankees have a 2-0 lead, and they will send up 9-1-2. Didi Gregorius will lead it off against Kendall Graveman. In at third is Laurie to guard against the bunt. And the pitch is strike. You know, I say that because it's something you report on, who's in, who's out. But I don't think I've seen Didi try to bunt yet. I don't think. There's the 0-1. There's strike at the knees, 0-2.
Trying to think whether he. I think you might be right.
Yeah,
in my mind's eye, I can't remember.
It'll be an 0-2. Didi fly to left his first time. And the pitch low inside slider, and the count 1-2. Now the right-hander deals. Another sinker low outside, and the count 2-2.
Now he's lost his aggression here a little bit, has Graveman. Trying to hit corners instead of just using that sink to move the ball itself.
Now here comes the 2-2, and it's grounded foul off first, so the count holds at 2-2 on Didi leading off the top of the 5th. The Yankees play every day. They play tonight, obviously, Friday night, Saturday night, Sunday afternoon against the A's, and then Monday night, Tuesday night, and Wednesday afternoon against Seattle. The pitch is low. Well, you know one good thing, Susan. The Yankees get rid of a West Coast trip.
They get
early.
The next one is half a West Coast trip. It's Houston and then the Angels on a trip. I think that's the end of June, something like that.
Didi hits a ground ball to first. Vogt will flip to his pitcher in time. So the play goes 3-1. One away, and here's Gardner. Ford vehicles have it all. Great design, intelligent features, all at a price that won't break the bank. See why they're the total package at your local Ford dealer now, or visit us at tristateford.com.
When Graveman is right, he gets a lot of ground balls. We've seen that. When he first came up, they were saying, John, that everything, even the outs he got, were fly balls, so you knew that the sinker wasn't working. It was just lucky it was such a big park.
And the pitch outside. And you know what? When the Yankees scored their second run, the first run was the home run by McCann. But the other run were really ground balls. They just happened to go through. But if you're a sinker baller, that's what you want. You want ground balls. Here's the 1-0. Low inside, 2-0. Now the 2-0 to Gardner. Line hard. There's a base hit to right center field. Cut off by Reddick in the gap. And so Gardner is on with a 1-out single, his second hit of the game. And that will bring up Chase Headley. As a rule of thumb, I've never seen Graveman pitch before, but as a rule of thumb, if his ball is down, it moves, and he's really in pretty good shape. If the ball is up, he gets hit. I mean, I know that's simplistic, but that's just about how he pitches.
And Joe had said, if you're going to throw over, Joe had said you try and make him get the ball up. That ball to Gardner was about thigh high.
Headley has struck out and grounded out. A switch hitter batting left. And the pitch is low. And out to the mound goes Fegley. Isn't it amazing what happened, Susan, in the last 3 days? I mean, you can't play worse than the Yankees did when they lost 10 out of 11.
No.
And they beat the Royals 3 times, and they're in first place.
Well, they only fell out of first place, I think, a day, right? They lost 10 out of 11, and they were a half game out for a day. American League East, they lose every day.
And here's the pitch to Headley. First to throw to first, and Gardner is back.
And Boston won today. Baltimore split a doubleheader. Everybody else isn't playing.
A 1 on and 1 out. And it'll be a 1-0 to Headley. Another throw to first, and again Gardner dives on back. Here comes the 1-0 to Headley. And the pitch low outside. There's a sinker going away from the lefty. And the count 2-0.
Do you remember when that monstrosity thing wasn't there? How pretty this was. I mean, it was always a dump. But
right.
At least you could see the mountains and there were flowers on it.
And better for the pitchers.
Yeah.
Because
Kurt Young, pitching coach, is jogging out to talk to Graveman, who really is slowed down here.
Count 2-0 on Headley. With Gardner at first, 1 out, top of the 5th. Graveman's next pitch will be his 70th.
A lot of foul territory here. You know, this place used to drive Wade Boggs crazy because you'd foul the ball off. You know, you're supposed to do foul off pitches, and it would be caught.
Absolutely.
Somebody run over to the top. It's about 100 yards, and catch it.
That's another reason why it was a good pitcher's park, or is.
Yep.
Pitch to Headley is a strike at the knees, and the count 2-1.
Well, that's one of the main ones, I would think, is that there's so much foul territory. I see people starting to wander around out.
You know who really kind of complained about the, Mount Davis, the stands they built for football. Here's the pitch to Headley. A foul down the left field line on the play. Reggie Jackson, he said, you don't know how many homers I lost in this ballpark when it was open and the wind would stop it.
Yeah.
And cold. It's cold here at night. And so he said, much easier to hit home runs now. And as Susan mentioned, when they had the other guys here the past few years, they've hit a lot of home runs. Well, it'll be a 2-2 to Headley. Gardner leads. And the pitch way outside. And the count 3-2. Now, if you have a player like Gardner and it's 3-2, he has to run. Even if Headley strikes out, he has a chance to beat the throw. Gardner has stolen 12 out of 15, so if he's not running, I would not understand why. Gardner has a fairly good lead. And the 3-2 swung on in line. There's a base hit to right center. Gardner running. He can walk to third. And that's why you send him. And the Yankees have runners on the corners first and third on a hard line drive hit by Headley to right center field. And the Yankees are set up to increase their lead.
See, just slightly up. And Graveman, you can see with him that he's got to keep the ball down, as John said. If it even gets up a little bit, it's going to get hit. Because there's no movement on that fastball. And that was up about thigh high once again. Same place as where he threw the ball to Gardner. Exactly the same pitch.
So first and third, one out. A-Rod has struck out, singled, and he scored the second run. So here the Yankees are looking for a fly ball from A-Rod to get the speedy Gardner in from third. Pitch. There's a strike.
91-mile-an-hour fastball right on the outside corner.
Gardner off third, Headley off first, with one man out in the fifth. And a throw to first base, and back is Headley. Now the right-hander's ready to go, and the pitch is low. And the count 1-1. A-Rod's a very smart player, and he knows, in effect, what he's looking for. Looking for a pitch he can drive, at least to get the run in. And the outfield play straight away for Alex. In the infield, the second baseman Zobrist pulled over near second. So with Vogt holding the runner on, a big open spot on the right side. And the pitch is cut on him. And the count 1-2. Now Graveman is set to go, and the pitch is swung on, hit in the air to right field. It gets the run in. The ball is caught by Reddick. Here comes Gardner. The throw is way late. It's a sac fly and an RBI for A-Rod, and the Yankees take a 3-0 lead. And that is the way you hit with a runner at third. You can wait on the ball if you're going to go the opposite field. Much easier to drive the ball there, and that's just what Alex did.
And you know what? He's such a smart player. That ball was on. He was pitching him outside the whole time. And Alex figured that was what it was going to be. He tried to pull a ball once and missed it. But that pitch, it sunk. It was on the outside part of the plate, and he went with it.
A-Rod's 27th RBI. And here is Teixeira with Headley at first and 2 outs. And there's a breaking ball strike.
Fans come on out to the stadium Wednesday, June 17th, when the Yanks take on the Marlins. The first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees barbecue apron courtesy of WFAN. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com.
It'll be an 0-1 to Teixeira. And he grounds one to Vogt at first, who fields it, tags out Teixeira in the baseline. And the Yankees settle for 1 run. 1 run, 2 hits, 1 left. And now at the end of 4.5 innings of play, It's 3-0 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, we go to the fifth inning. Being the fifth inning, it's post time, and we bring in George King from the New York Post. The New York Post brings you the best sports in town every day. Here's the catcher, Josh Phegley. He's a right-hand hitter. He singled to center his first time. And Sabathia deals, and there's a strike. Well, George, let's begin by talking about Sabathia, who had that terrible start against Texas. And obviously, he's in a very good rhythm tonight.
When you watch him, you think he can pitch like this.
Pitch fouled away first base side.
I mean, without the velocity, all the other stuff that we've been hearing about. And then something like last start happens, and the immediate reaction is, well, maybe he can't pitch like this. But this is the way he pitches now. It's got to be accepted by people, and he's got to learn to do it.
Yeah, absolutely, because he can pitch like this. He can pitch like this and win. That's the point. The 0-2 to Phegley is inside and low, 1-2.
His stuff's a lot swifter than it was. Breaking stuff is good, and he's throwing a fastball for strikes, and he looks like he's in command. The other day, that didn't look like much.
Now the pitch to Phegley is swung on and popped up off first. A lot of running room. Teixeira on the run makes the catch. Only in this ballpark. Only in this ballpark, one away.
You know, George, a couple of things going on. Tanaka is probably here by now. He was on his way, so I would imagine he's here by now. He didn't fly 3,000 miles to just have a bullpen and sit down. So he's going to pitch in Seattle. Who gets bumped from the rotation?
He's going to pitch Tuesday or Wednesday.
Right.
And
so they don't. So
the leading candidate to get bumped was Warren, but he's not going to be pitching in there. So Sabathia or Capuano is not going to pitch, and I think it's pretty easy to figure out. Sabathia's going to pitch, so it'll be Capuano.
Here is Canna, and there's a big backdoor breaking ball strike. Well, there's no question that's what you figure. So when Capuano pitches tomorrow, right?
Yes.
He's pitching for his job. I mean, right now. The thing is, Warren has pitched so well, you can't take him out either. The pitch to Canna, right-hand hitter, is high, 1-1.
If you're going on merit, no. The merit and the schedule indicates that it'll be Capuano. But as Girardi said today, it's a long way between here and Tuesday. As far as injuries.
And a long way between here and Tipperary. The pitch is a breaking ball strike, another backdoor breaking ball. Well, you know, one thing that we should say, Capuano doesn't lend himself to being in the bullpen unless you're going to make him a long man. Whereas Warren really lends himself to being in the bullpen, but he's been pitching so great.
Don't miss 6 weeks and go 0-2.
Here's the 1-2. Hit on the ground to short. Didi fields and throws 2 away. 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network.
Free agent tackle Jake Long met with the Giants today. The Jets released Matt Sims. The Bulls fire head coach Tom Thibodeau. Listen to Mark Malusis after the game on WFAN and WFAN FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Waldman, and George King of the New York Post here in the bottom of the fifth. Yanks have a 3-0 lead. 2 outs, no one on.
You know, George, Slade Heathcott, who came up, had such a great start here, pulled today because of a tight quad.
The pitch to Burns, the leadoff man, is lined deep to left field down the line, and that ball is gone. That ball got over the wall right down the line. Fair or foul? It was fair. A home run for Billy Burns. It's a 3-1 ball game.
Well, of all people in this lineup, that you would think that he would not be the one to hit his second. He had 1 home run and 2 RBIs. He's got 2 home runs and 3 RBIs. You know, George, Heathcott, that sort of reminded me why he's taken so long. That one of the reasons is he gets hurt a lot.
He does get hurt a lot, and when he gets hurt, he gets hurt.
Here is Semien. Pitches a strike. And also, it's terrible for a ball player who relies on his legs to have those pulled muscles.
Yeah, and, it's a shame because he was playing well, and it's a terrific story. And we'll see. I mean, it's.
Is it? Do you know if it's bad or not? And nobody said.
Pitch is cut on a miss.
All we got was that he was scratched. He was scratched after the clubhouse was closed. So we'll find out more after the game.
Marcus Semien is the hitter, the count 0-2. Now that's part of baseball. Injuries and home runs, I guess. Pitches outside. I saw that replay of the home run. It's 330 down the line, and that ball went right next to the pole and right over the heads. But you know what? It counts as much if you hit it 500 feet.
It was about a foot fair. We'll look at discussed by CC. Speaking of guys who work with their legs.
Pitch is into the air to right. Beltran toward the line, makes the running catch. And that'll do it.
You'll never know what I was going to ask you.
Nope.
Save it for tomorrow. He'll be here. 1 run, 1 hit. The home run by Burns, and no one left at the end of 5. It's 3-1 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
The best Radio 66 and 101.9 FM WFAN New York.
Well, here we go to the 6th, and here's Brian McCann. And there is a strike. McCann homered for the first run, singled in the second run. Erod sac flied the third run. And McCann takes outside, and Billy Burns dropped one just over the left field fence, right next to the foul pole. And it's a 3-1 Yankee lead here in the 6th. Pitch way outside. And now the count 2-1 on McCann.
Scoreboard update brought to you by Bigelow Family Tea Blender since 1945. Kind of a limited schedule today on this Thursday night.
Pitch is lined hard. There's a base hit over first down the right field line. Rolling to the right field corner. McCann heads for second. Oh, he holds up. He'd never make it. Great fielding by Reddick. And then a very good arm. He has a right fielder's arm, of course. So McCann did the right thing. He went about a quarter of the way and thought, uh-oh. So back to first he goes.
Chicago and Baltimore split a doubleheader at Camden Yards. That was the makeup game for the postponed games of the 27th and 28th of April. Chicago winning the first game 3-2 behind Chris Sale, and Baltimore coming back and taking the second game 6-3.
Now here's Beltran, and the breaking ball is low. Beltran is 0 for 2. He has a 15-game hit streak on the line.
Boston beat Texas 5-1. Hanley Ramirez's 11th homer of the season. Eduardo Rodriguez's first start for the Red Sox. He went 7 2/3, no runs, 3 hits, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts.
Pitch is low, and you know what? Boston's had a lot of problems with their starters.
Yep.
He'll get another start.
Nick Martinez gets his first loss of the year. The Angels leading Detroit 3-1, top of the 5th. Albert Pujols and Matt Joyce have both homered.
Now here's the 2-0. Count on and foul back 2-1.
And Cleveland leading Seattle 4-1, top of the 5th. Brandon Moss had his 8th homer for Cleveland. Mike Zunino his 7th for Seattle. Corey Kluber and James Paxson hooking up in that. 2 games in the National League. It's 7-2. Pittsburgh over San Diego, bottom of the 4th. A.J. Burnett and is still in there. Ian Kennedy knocked out in the 4th inning.
There's a pitch off speed low to Beltran, and the count 3-1.
And they're at the bottom of the 6th across the bridge here. Atlanta and the Giants, no score. Shelby Miller against Chris Heston.
So it'll be a 3-1 to Beltran. McCann at first, and Vogt plays behind him because they know he's not going to run. The 3-1 is hit in the air to center field and deep. Back goes Burns on the track. He's at the wall. He makes the catch right at the wall and fires back in. The Beltran hit it on the nose. Burns ran it down. As he caught the ball, he then fell right into the fence at the 400-foot marker in dead center, 1 away.
Well, he is really a defensive outfielder. That's what he does. And tonight he's having a great night. A little home run, and it was a little home run, 330. Right back to the fence, almost Coco Crisp like. You could see him feel for the wall so he doesn't bump into the wall full force.
Ooh. Beltran just missed. Now 1-on-1 out. Here is Stephen Drew. He's 0 for 2. And the pitch is low. This gives Vogt a chance to play behind McCann. You know he's not going to run. He's so slow. And with the left-hand hitter up, Vogt plays behind him, and then he backpedals, so he has much more range. There'll be a 1-0 to Drew. And the pitch low in the count 2-0. Graveman is at 90 pitches.
And we see arm circles stretching. The bullpens are right on the field here, a la Tropicana Field.
Now the pitch to Drew, hit hard on the ground to second. Feed short, there's one, on to first. Wild throw, and it goes into the Yankee dugout. So on to second will go Drew. Marcus Semien made his 18th error, and he fired the ball a little bit over the head of Stephen Vogt.
So fielder's choice and another error by Semien. And sitting to the booth to our right is Ron Washington, who was hired by the A's as a 7th coach, and his job, Marcus Semien, is now going to the Ron Washington School of Infielding. He's breaking down the footwork and his throwing mechanics. A's have 51 errors on the season.
Now here's Chris Young with a runner at second, 2 out. And the pitch is inside in the count 1-0. I was just about to say double play, and the ball sailed way over Vogt's head.
So they got 51 errors.
Doesn't help your pitching either, does it?
Well, this is only game for 48.
Pitch to Young is low.
More than an inning, more than an error a game. Wow.
Well, the count 2-0 on Young. Drew off second with 2 outs. Pitch is grounded foul off third, 2-1. Your local Tri-State Audi dealers invite you to experience the uncompromised performance of the Audi A3 today, or visit anytime at tristateaudidealers.com. 3-1 Yankees, top of the 6th, a runner at second, 2 outs.
When do they lose ball games?
And the pitch to Young is pop foul back. And the pitch is low, ball 4. So Young walks, and the Yanks have 2 on and 2 out, and here's Didi. So Bob Elvin made the sign, talk sign, moving your thumb against your fingers. So obviously he's thinking of bringing in the lefty to face Didi as they're at the mound schmoozing. And here he comes.
And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by your world. Well, the new pitcher is the lefty Francisco Abad, as John said. Give you his numbers. 0-2, 6.94 ERA, 21 games. In 21 games, he's pitched 11 2/3 innings, given up 15 hits, 9 earned runs, 4 home runs, a hit batter, 4 walks, and 7 strikeouts, and a wild pitch. Opponents are batting .326 off Abad. Doesn't give you a great sense of confidence, does it? Those numbers?
They're not very good numbers, no. Here's Didi, lefty to lefty, 2 on, 2 out, 3-1 Yanks in the 6th. And the pitch is swung on, hit high in the air to right. Reddick drifting back in front of the track. He makes the catch to end the inning. 1 pitch. Abad did the job. No runs, 1 hit, 1 error, and 2 left. And now at the end of 5.5 innings of play, 3-1 Yanks on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Chief.
Come on out to the stadium Tuesday, June 9th, when the Yanks take on the Nats.
Pitch is line. There's a base hit over third down the left field line. Extra base hit for Zobrist. Zobrist heads for second. He is there with a double. So a great start for the A's in the 6th inning. And they trailed 3-1.
And when the Yanks take on the Nats in the interleague matchup, it's a Yankee Stadium tradition, cap night, and the first 18,000 guests in attendance receive a Yankees cap courtesy of Cannon. For tickets, log on to Yankees.com. Didn't you just feel it was only a matter of time before Zobrist got a hit?
Well, I always thought he was a good hitter. So there's a double. Here's Billy Butler. And the pitch foul back to the screen. Then Zobrist at second with no one out. And three really good hitters coming up. Butler, then Stephen Vogt and Brett Laurie. And once again, it'll be a 3-2. And that's grounded foul hard outside of third. Once again, it'll be a 3-2. Sabathia checks his runner and deals. Swung on and lined to right, but right at Beltran, who makes the catch. Tagging and going to third is Zobrist, and he just makes a great throw by Beltran. A one-hopper, but without question, Zobrist was safe as he slid in. So one out with a runner at third.
Yeah, that was as good a throw as Beltran's made all year. Terrific, a laser shot.
Now batting, first baseman.
It was closer than I thought. One hopper, Headley just missed him.
Now here's Stephen Vogt. And one thing when you're ahead, you never bring the infield up, because you don't want to start a bigger inning. Well, here, if Vogt hits a ground ball anywhere but third, it'll be a run. Zobrist at third with one man out. And Sabathia deals, grounded foul off first. Vogt had a base hit last time. He had a check swing, little tapper, third base side, past the mound. Headley did all he could. He came in barehanded through, made a great throw, but Vogt beat it out. The infield is deep. They'll never get Zobrist at home, so a ground ball means a run unless it's at third base. And the pitch is grounded foul outside of first, and the count 0-2. I don't know why you would change what you do. Now, in fact, they moved Didi to the first base side of second. He had been on the third base side. 0-2. Why would you do that? Who knows? Here's the 0-2. Struck. Oh, he fouled it. Got a piece. Ball rolled away. So the count is 0-2.
And this is the place where CeCe has said before that he's got to bear down. When you're 0-2, you've got to have that knockout punch right here. So he almost had that. See if he can do that again. Just got a piece of it, did Vogt.
That'll be an 0-2, lefty to lefty, and the pitch is grounded foul at home plate. And you know that Sabathia and McCann are thinking strikeout. And for that matter, if you said that's true, well, it's also true that Vogt is thinking, I got to make contact. All I have to do is hit a ground ball. Well, let's see if Sabathia comes back with the slider down and away to try to get the K. Zobrist off third. And the pitch is a fastball away. And now the count 1-2.
CeCe has said in the past the most frustrating thing is to have a batter down 0-2 and not be able to put him away. Vogt's done a very good job at fouling off the pitches that he couldn't handle.
Once again, it'll be a 1-2. Slider struck him out swinging. A great slider down and away. That's the fourth strikeout for CeCe. And Painting the Corner brought to you by CertaPro Painters, because painting is personal. I just saw that pitch again. It's like falling off the table, as they say. It's a great pitch. So here is right-hand hitting Brett Laurie. And if Sabathia gets Laurie, Oakland will not have scored. That was a great strikeout. Two-way, Laurie is 0 for 2, 2 fly balls to right. The pitch deals outside 1-0. I don't think they'll walk him, but there is a left-hand hitter on deck. And that's Josh Reddick. So it'll be a 1-0 to the right-hitting Laurie. And the pitch swung on, hit high in the air to deep left field. Gardner going back. That ball is high. Hit is far. It is gone. Ties the game. A 2-run home run for Brett Laurie.
CeCe just put his hands on his knees and bent over as soon as he heard the sound of the ball off that bat. He knew. He didn't even want to look at it.
Laurie hits his third home run. RBI 17 and 18, and we're all tied on the 2-run home run by Brett Laurie. Now here's Reddick, and he hits a ground ball foul outside of first.
Middle of the plate. We just saw that again. Too much of the middle of the plate.
Here's the 0-1. A high fly to left. Gardner drifts back. He's there to make the catch and the inning. However, big inning for Oakland. They get 2 runs on 2 hits. And at the end of 6 innings of play, we're all tied at 3 on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
And 1019 FM, WFAN, New York.
Well, Fernando Abad back in. He's a left-handed specialist, so somebody's getting up. A righty has gotten up in the Oakland pen. Check that out for you. Once again, we just got to look at that again. A little hanging brain ball that stayed right in the middle of the plate. And CeCe, as soon he didn't even turn around. He just heard the sound of it and put his hands on his knees and just bent over.
So the Yankees, who had a 3-0 lead, have blown that lead, and it's all tied. A solo home run by Billy Burns, a 2-run home run by Laurie. McCann had homered for the Yankees for their first run. He singled in the second run, and A-Rod hit a sac fly for the third run. Top of the order up against the lefty, Fernando Abad. It would be Gardner, Headley, A-Rod. There is a right-hander, though, warming in the Oakland bullpen. So Abad pitches to Gardner, and then we'll see. And the pitch outside is a fastball. Gardner bluff bunt. On the count, 1-0.
Evan Scribner is warming up.
It'll be a 1-0. There's a strike, and the count 1-1. Gardner is 2 for 3 on the night. Now the left-hander deals. Cut out on this slider away, and the count 1-2. It'll be a 1-2 to Gardner, leading off the 7th for the Yanks. And the lefty deals. Swung on a fly ball foul down the left field line and into the seats. So the count holds at 1-2. Hey, Jack, do I owe you a station break? I thought so. Well, I'll pay up in a moment. It'll be a 1-2 to Gardner. Pitch. Swung on, a fly ball to left, not deep. There is Canna to make the catch, one away. 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
The Bulls fired Coach Tom Thibodeau. Dan Bilesmer, the new head coach of the Sabres. It's Mark Malusis after the game on WFAN, WFAN-FM, New York.
And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by 877 right-handed Evan Scribner out of Connecticut. Went to Central Connecticut.
And Chase Headley takes a strike.
Scribner, 29 years old, born in New Milford, grew up a Yankee fan, a big Mariano Rivera fan.
The 0-1, and on the ground to second, Zobrist will throw out Headley 2 away.
Scribner does not have overpowering stuff, but he fires kind of crossfire, has good deception, gets a lot of ground balls.
And with 2 away, here is Alex.
Now batting, number 13, Alex Rodriguez.
A-Rod has struck out, singled, and hit a sac fly. 3 infielders on the left side. 2 outs, no one on. Top of the 7th. We're tied at 3. And the pitch is a strike. Fastball outside corner, 0-1. Now the 0-1. And the sliders outside 1-1. Alex hits a hard ground ball to short. Backhanded by Semien. The throw is high, but Boat catches and tags A-Rod for the final out. 3 up and 3 down at the end of 6.5. We're tied at 3 on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Puncture.
Well, we go to the bottom of the 7th. The Yankees start their bullpen. Sabathia will face the righty hitting catcher Josh Fegley to open it up. Tied at 3, bottom of the 7th, and the breaking ball is low, 1-0.
And the right-hander David Carpenter is up for the Yankees.
Fegley 1 for 2 on the night. And Sabathia deals, and a grounded foul off third. The 7th inning sponsored by Tri-State Ford. Drop everything and get to the Memorial Day sales event at your local Ford dealer. Save big on some of the most stylish rides around, like Fusion, Escape, and Explorer. Visit TriStateFord.com for details. The pitch is grounded in the hole. It's a base hit to left field. Now Fegley grounds one in the shortstop hole, and there's the tie-breaking run at first with no one out.
Now batting, one fielder, number 20, Mark Canna.
And here's the right-hand hitting left fielder Mark Canna. And at first you think, well, they should take CC out, a right-hand hitter up, but I told you before, the Canna's numbers against lefties are horrendous. Barely 100. Pitch is outside, although he does have a hit tonight against CC. The game tied at 3. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. Fegley, the tie-breaking run, leads off first, and the pitch is low outside. The count 2-0. Tampa doesn't play, so the Yankees, when this game ends, will either be 1 game up or 2 games up. And the 2-0 is low in the count 3-0.
Strange.
Now CC will deal 3-0 to Canna. There's a strike through a fastball down the pipe. So 3-1. The outfield about straight away for this young right-hand hitter. And the infield's about straight away. They're back looking for two, of course. It'll be a 3-1. And the pitch is high, ball 4. Canna just stood there. Finally realized it's ball 4. So 2 on and no one out. Larry Rothschild will go. No, that's Joe.
That's Joe.
And he signaled to the bullpen already.
And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by Personal. Well, the righty David Carpenter is in, and that turns around Billy Burns.
And boy, if you had a bet, you would bet there's a bunt coming. It has to be. Tie game, bottom of the 7th, first and second, no one out. The leadoff hitter up. Carpenter holds the set, and they're racing in, and the pitch is low. Headley and Teixeira were on home plate. The Yankees put on the wheel play. And the wheel play, is the shortstop goes to third. Okay. The second baseman goes to second. No, the second baseman goes to first. And the third baseman and first baseman charge. There's no one in the middle of the infield in case you swing away. So what you want is for Headley to be able to field the ball, or Teixeira, and go to third for the force. There'll be a 1-0 to Burns. And the pitch is a strike. He squared a bunt. He didn't bunt.
Mike Gallego looking in for signs. Mike Gallego now giving those signs to Burns. Burns actually walked over and talked to Gallego after the first pitch.
This is also called the rotation play. Let's call it the wheel play. And now Carpenter goes over to talk to Headley. Headley, the third baseman, gives the signs. But Headley has gone through all the signs. First and second, no one out in the 7th, and a tie game at 3. Let's see if Burns can get the bunt down. And the pitch, and he does get the bunt down. The throw goes to third to Headley in time. Headley retreated. Carpenter grabbed the bunt and fired to third. He fired high, but Headley is very tall, made the grab. So that changes the inning a lot. First and second and one man out.
And really good grab, as John said, by Headley. That was not a good throw by Carpenter. It was in the area. It was also not a good bunt because he bunted it into the ground and it went straight up in the air. So Carpenter had an easy play on it. Almost threw it away.
He almost did. And if you throw it away here, everybody scores.
Right.
You know, we could score off the bench here. So it's a fielder's choice, and the play goes 1-5. So now Canna is at second, Burns at first, 1 out. Here's Marcus Semien, and the pitch is high, and the count 1-0. Very alert play by Headley. He saw the bunt, and he retreated quickly and got to third and was there to take the throw. Semien, a right-hand hitter, is 0 for 3. And Carpenter deals. Cut on him. The Yankees have a lefty in the bullpen. There'll be a 1-1 to Semien. With runners at first and second, 1 out, bottom of the 7th. And Carpenter deals. Caught on a miss. Slider away. Semien swung a terrible pitch. Another count 1-2.
And that lefty is Chasen Shreve in the Yankees pen.
You know, some of the great sliders, righty to righty, they start out in the middle and drift out. That one started off the outside corner. It had to go there. Unless he throws the greatest Scroogey of all time. Here is the 1-2. Swung on and grounded in the hole. It's a base hit to left field. Gardner feels they'll hold the runner. So the bases are loaded with 1 out as Semien snuck a ground ball through the shortstop hole, and the A's are set up. They have the bases loaded and 1 out.
when Canada was actually thinking about scoring, Mike Gallego held him up. He would have been a dead duck. Ball under the glove of Didi Gregorius, but Gardner playing up was right there to pick it up. If it had gone a little further, he might have scored, but Gardner was backed up that ball beautifully.
So here is Zobrist. A switch hitter batting left with runners at every spot. Bases loaded, one man out. And Carpenter deals low in the count 1-0. Zobrist has a double in 3 trips. Here's Carpenter's 1-0. It's low. Now he's in trouble, Carpenter. He's got the bases loaded. You can't afford a walk. That forces him to run. The count is 2-0. And if you make too fat a pitch, it'll be a lot more than 1 run. Now here's a very, very big pitch in this game. 2-0 on Zobrist. The pitch is a strike on the inside corner. He threw a slider and got it just under the hands of Zobrist. 2-1.
Right on the corner. What a beautiful pitch. Zobrist tried to hold up anyway.
Now McCann goes out to talk to Carpenter.
Zobrist, one of those guys, hard to fool with the strike zone. He's not going to go out of the zone to try and swing at a pitch.
And here's Carpenter's 2-1. And it's low, 3-1. So Carpenter, the old back to the wall. If it's ball 4, it forces in the lead run. So he's got to throw a strike to a very professional hitter in Ben Zobrist. Now here's Carpenter's 3-1. And it's a strike. He took it at the knees. A 94-mile-an-hour heater, so the count 3-2.
Now you can guess along with Zobrist. Does he throw that slider? Or does he come back with that fastball?
And here comes the 3-2. Bases loaded, 1 out. Pitch is low, ball 4. So it forces in a run, and the A's take a 4-3 lead. McCann scores. Burns goes to third, Semien to second. Zobrist gets his 9th RBI, and the A's down 3-0. Now take a 4-3 lead.
Now Joe is out. He has not called for the ball yet, unless they're just talking about what they're going to do.
Well, I think that they're going to save Shreve for the lefty vote, so they'll keep Carpenter in against the right-hand hitting Butler. So Larry leaves and makes the long walk to the dugout.
Number 16, Willie Butler.
Hard to tell. They're all bundled up in sweatshirts and hoodies down there. Very chilly.
That run, of course, charged to Sabathia. Here's Butler. And there is a strike.
I thought it was cold. It's 54 degrees here in Oakland.
That's why Hank Bauer said what he said.
I should have worn my long johns.
There'll be an 0-1 to Butler. Swung on a high fly to center. That will get in a run. Back is Young in deep center. Makes the catch. Everybody tags. Zobrist goes back to first. It's a sac fly and an RBI for Butler. And Oakland takes a 5-3 lead.
And here comes Joe. And boy, David Carpenter's had a very rough start to his Yankee career. And this call to the bullpen is brought to you by
Chase and Sean, first and third. Chase and Shreve comes on. First and third, 2 out. Stephen Vogt takes a strike, a breaking ball. That run is charged to Sabathia. Even though he didn't put that man on base, that man forced one of Sabathia's people. So we'll give you CC's line. First and third, 2 men out. 5-3 Oakland with 2 here in the 7th. And the pitch is fouled back in the count 0-2. So Sabathia, 6+, 2 runs, 8 hits, 4 strikeouts, 1 walk. He can lose. He cannot win. Stephen Vogt is 1 for 3. And Shreve will deal 0-2. A high pop to third. Headley in fair territory makes the catch and back at third. To end the inning, but a big inning for Oakland. They get 2 runs on 2 hits and leave 2. And now the end of 7 innings of play is 5-3 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, we go to the top of the 8th inning. Yankees trail by 2. 5-3. Evan Scribner, the right-hander, is on the mound. Scribner got Headley to ground out and A-Rod to ground out, and he's the pitcher of record. So right now, Scribner would win and CC would lose. Here is Teixeira to lead it off. This is a big inning for the Yankees, and I'll tell you why. As Scribner deals, and there's a breaking ball strike. It's a big inning for the Yankees because they have Teixeira, McCann, and Beltran up. And I mean, I'm not exactly releasing any stories here. Stop the presses kind of thing. Pitch. Cut on a missed off speed. But the bottom of the order for the Yanks does not hit very much. So there's a big inning because the big hitters are up. There'll be an 0-2 to Teixeira, and he fouls it back. The 8th inning brought to you by Kubota Tractors, and you can find them at Far Right Incorporated and Harder Equipment Incorporated. And here's the 0-2. High 1-2.
Scoreboard update is brought to you by Astoria Bank. Not a lot of games today. Baltimore and the White Sox played a doubleheader to make up for those games that were postponed.
Teixeira lines 1 to second. Now I say to second, Zobrist was halfway out in right field. So that's where the ship hurts. It took a hit away from Teixeira. That's a line drive single, except Zobrist was playing way out there and easily caught the line drive, 1 away.
Chicago and Baltimore split those games. Chicago winning first game 3-2, losing the second game 6-3. Boston beat Texas 5-1. Eduardo Rodriguez got the win. Nick Martinez gets his first loss. Hanley Ramirez homer number 11.
McCann takes a breaking ball high. Now Scribner's 2-2. Struck him out swinging, breaking ball, 2-away. Scribner has come on and retired 4 straight. 10-second station ID now on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Coach Tom Thibodeau fired after 5 seasons with the Bulls. Ex-Penguins coach Dan Bilesma takes over the Sabres. Mark Malusis after the game on WFAN AM and FM New York.
John Sterling, Susan Wellman back in Oakland. 5-3 A's, top of the 8th, 2 outs, no one on. Beltran takes a strike, and the 0-1 is low in the count, 1-1.
Scribner.
That is a 12-6 curveball pitch. Struck him out swinging. So Scribner comes in, retires 5 straight in the 8th, 3 up, 3 down. And at the end of 7.5 innings of play, it's 5-3 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Save 5 cents. Here's Brett Laurie, hit a big 2-run home run in this game. Yankees were up 3-1 at the point. They now trail 5-3. Laurie, a right-hand hitter, and the left-hander Chasen Shreve deals a strike, and the count 0-1.
Local tri-state Audi dealers invite you to experience the uncompromised.
Now Shreve deals a breaking ball low.
Speed Report is brought to you by Old Dominion Household Services.
And Shreve deals foul back.
Well, the ex-Yankee, Tyler Clippard, is warming up for the A's. Their bullpen has not been very efficient.
Here's Shreve's pitch. He struck him out swinging, one away.
Sean Doolittle has been on the DL. He's back now. I think he's just come back a couple of days ago, but he has missed most of the season, almost all the season so far.
Now one away. Here's Josh Reddick, who is 0 for 3. He's a left-hand hitter. Three infielders on the right side for Reddick. Headley remains on the left side, and Shreve deals cut on him. Yankees have the bottom of the order up in the 9th inning. So Clippard coming in, well, I won't say but probably you'll see Garrett Jones. Yankees have Drew, Young, and Gregorius up in the 9th. Pitch is outside 1-1. Now Shreve will deal 1-1, and the pitch low, and the count 2-1. I don't think we've mentioned it, but this is a complex that Oakland built in the late 60s. Pitch swung on a high pop in shallow center. Didi is out calling. He makes the catch, and they're 2-away. Anyway, right next door is Oracle, the arena that the Warriors play in, where they clinch the West. And I've done it, so I know you can walk in a tunnel and go from the baseball ballpark or football park to the basketball arena. And last night, boy, they went nuts here.
It sure just been 40 years.
Yeah. How do you like that? 1975, the Warriors won the NBA championship. They haven't been to the finals since. That's 40 years. 2-away, and Fegley takes a strike.
They were at the Cow Palace then, right?
Well, when they came out here, they played game. I've done games at the Cow Palace in San Francisco, but it wasn't good enough. And so they came out here, and that's why they call themselves Golden State instead of San Francisco or Oakland. Pitch is low.
Well, they are trying to get a new arena, and they were going to put it someplace here, and something happened. So now they're trying to pass a bill to get it built downtown, near the Giants ballpark.
Really?
In Embarcadero, further down towards the Embarcadero.
The pitch is cut on miss. It's amazing. No, forget now that it's been 40 years. The success that they've had of late, last 5-10 years, they sell out.
Oh, yeah.
That's become. Now here's Shreve's 2-2 to Fegley. And the pitch hit in the air to center field and deep. Back goes Young. In front of the track, he makes the catch to end the inning. So 1-2-3. You go the A's at the end of 8. It's 5-3 Oakland on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
It's Yankees baseball on Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM WFAN New York.
Well, the A's make a change in left field. Sam Fuld, a very good defensive outfielder, goes in for Mark Canha. And the ex-Yank Tyler Clippard comes in for the save. And Stephen Drew will lead off for the Yanks. The attendance tonight, 21,795. The game attendance brought to you by the New York Community Bank and the NYCB family of banks. So to the ninth, the Yankees trail 5-3. They need the old bloop and a blast. And here's Stephen Drew. 3 infielders on the right side. And Clippard deals, and there's a strike. Evan Scribner, who would be the winner, went an inning and 2/3. In other words, he faced 5 men. He retired all 5, striking out 2 of them. He would be the winner, and CeCe would be the loser, unless the Yankees rally in the ninth. And it'll be an 0-1. The pitch is low. I gather Heathcott can't play. They don't want him to pull the muscle. I think he has a quad. And the pitch to Drew is outside. So I gather he wouldn't hit. So that means that you have Young up next and then Gregorius. And you have one left-hand hitter on the bench if Heathcott can't hit. And that would be Garrett Jones. So Drew ahead on the count, 2-1. And Clipper deals half swing on a breaking ball, 2-2. Now the right-hander to the wide, and here's the 2-2. Grounded foul off of first. And it'll be a 2-2. Drew 0-for-3 on the night. Yankees in need of a base runner. And the 2-2. Swung on, a fly ball to shallow center. There is Burns for the catch. And there's one away, and here's Chris Young. So one away.
Chris Young.
Young 0-for-2 with a walk. And Chris swings and lines one to left. Fuld going back. Makes the catch 2-away. So with 2 down, Yankees down to their last out. Here is Garrett Jones to hit for Didi.
Batting for Gregorius, number 33, Garrett Jones.
The pitch to Jones is low, breaking ball in the dirt. Jones, a left-hand hitter. Jones, no matter, well, if he makes out, the game is over, but he needs to get on base. A walk is as good as a home run. The Yankees down by 2 runs. And the 1-0 is high, 2-0. Jones ahead 2-0, and the pitch foul back, and the count 2-1. 5-3 Oakland. We're in the 9th inning with 2 outs and no one on. Now the right-hander will deal 2-1. Low 3-1. Clippard in the wind. Here's the 3-1. Caught on a missed high fastball, 3-2. I don't know if he should be swinging. Yankees need a base runner. But I guess they say, well, that's going to be a good pitch to hit at. It's a high fastball. So the count 3-2. And Clippard's payoff is low ball 4. So Jones did the job. He's on. And the Yankees get a chance to send up the tying run. It's Brett Gardner.
Now batting, number 11, Brett Gardner.
Gardner's 2 for 4 on the night. So Jones worked out a 3-2 walk. And here's the tying run, Brett Gardner. Gardner grounded out, singled, and flied out. Now we're set to go, and the right-hander Clippard ready to deal. High fastball, 1-0. If Clippard gets a save, it'll be his 5th. Their closer really is lefty Sean Doolittle. He's been out injured, as Susan told you. He's just getting back. Jones leads off first. And there's pitches a strike. Now, I don't understand why Vogt is playing Jones. It's true that if you get a ground ball in the middle of the infield, you can get a force at second to end the game. But I would much rather have my first baseman for a left-hand hitter back and let Jones run all over the base paths if he wants. Now here's the 1-1 to Gardner. And the pitch is low. An off-speed pitch, and the count 2-1. If Vogt plays all the way back, Jones can take second, defensive indifference, and that eliminates the force at second. But I think I want my first baseman back, especially for a left-hand hitter. But in not, he's playing Jones. Now here comes the 2-1 to Gardner, and the pitch low, and the count 3-1. Chase Headley is on deck. No one's warming up in the Oakland bullpen. In fact, no one's warming up in either bullpen. Now here's the 3-1. Now here I can understand turning a guy loose. You're down by 2, and if Gardner gets a cookie, maybe he hits it out. Gardner has 4 home runs on the year. It'll be a 3-1. And the pitch is strike on the outside corner. 3-2. So for the second consecutive batter, Oakland is a strike away. Now Vogt does back up. He's going to run anyway. And Vogt backs up right on the foul line to eliminate the double. And it'll be a 3-2 to Gardy. And the right-hander is set. And here's the payoff. Swung on and lined toward the gap in left center field. It is a base hit going to the left center field wall. Jones will score. Gardner around second, and he holds on. It is a ribby double for Brett Gardner. Jones scores. The Yankees trail 5-4, and they're a base hit away from tying the game. So Gardner ripped one in the gap in left center field for the ribby double. Jones running, scored easily, no play. And the Yankees trail 5-4, and they're a single away from tying the game, especially with Gardner at second base. Now here's Chase Headley. Well, a two-out rally. A walk to Jones. Always begins with a walk. The ribby double by Gardner. Here is Headley. And the pitch is low on the count 1-0. You know, they put three infielders on the right side all the time for Headley, and now they're playing straight-up defense. So if Headley has the ability to hit a single through the hole, the shortstop, well, why wouldn't he have that in the first inning of the third inning? Gardner, the tying run, leads off second. It'll be a 1-0 to Headley. And the pitch swung on and hit in the air to center field. Back goes Burns, and on the track, he makes the catch right near the wall. Good try by Headley. He hit it within a couple of steps of the left center field wall. Ball game over. Oakland wins. So the A's win the first of the four-game series. They beat the Yankees by the score of 5-4. In the inning, one run on one hit and one left. Yankees came close, but no cigar. And the final, Oakland 5, Yankees 4. We're back in just a moment with more on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Your accents.
Let's take 10-second station ID on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network. John Sterling, Susan Waldman back at the Coliseum in Oakland. The A's hang on to win 5-4. Please stay tuned following the game for the Agera Energy Yankees postgame show. Agera Energy, the next generation of energy efficiency, demand management, and retail energy supply. So the Yankees lose at 5-4. They gave it the old college try, a two-out walk to Jones. With a two-run lead, you shouldn't walk anyone. If you throw the ball down the pipe and he hits the hardest line drive, it may go at somebody. Anyway, Jones walked. Gardner doubled on a 3-2 pitch in the left center field gap to score the fourth run. And then Headley sent Burns within a couple of steps of the left center field wall to catch his drive. And Oakland hangs on to win. When Susan has a star of the game, that's sponsored by your Mercedes-Benz Tri-State dealers on the web at searchmercedes.com. And we'll get back with the totals in just a moment on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep. Well, I would like to tell you that guests on Yankees postgame will receive a $100 gift card from Maker & Company. Maker of the best shirts and other fine apparel for the everyday man who wants to look his best. You can find Maker & Company apparel at Nordstrom and other fine specialty retailers. Shop anytime at makerandcompany.com and receive special offers for all baseball fans at makerandcompany.com/Yankees Radio Network. Now here are the totals in tonight's Yankee loss. For the Yanks, 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. They left 7. And for Oakland, 5 runs, 9 hits, 1 error. They left 6. CC Sabathia, the loser, he's 2-7. Evan Scribner, the winner, he's 1-0. And Tyler Clippard picked up his 5th save. With a loss, the Yankee lead over Tampa goes down to 1 game. The Yankees are 25-23. And Oakland improves to 18-32. The time of the game, 2 hours and 50 minutes, and the attendance, 21,795. And once again, the final score is Oakland 5 and the Yankees 4. New York Yankees baseball is a production of Sports Radio 66 and 101.9 FM, WFAN, in conjunction with the New York Yankees. Studio operations by Paul Rosenberg, Pete Hoffman, and Russell Mathis. Our producer-engineer in the booth is Jack Candy Maldonado. Executive producer Dove Kramer. Coordinating producer Vicky Biello. Production assistance by Rick Roush. And we ask you to please stay tuned for the Agera Energy Yankees post-game show starring Sweeney Murphy. And for Susan Waldman, this is John Sterling saying so long from Oakland Coliseum. The A's win at 5-4. Have a good night on the WFAN New York Yankees radio network, driven by Jeep.
Yankees baseball was presented by the Jeep Cherokee Yankees postgame show on the WFAN Yankees radio network.
At Jeep, a big part of what we do